Hey buds, it's wonderful Skiff again. We are here with another Skiff Smash show. Wow, Skiff Smasher showcase. I can't even talk today. Today we've got my favorite WiiFit trainer, NickDistrict14. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. It means a lot. So, yeah, obviously, for those who are unaware, NickDistrict14 is a WiiFit trainer main from Maryland, right?
Yep, that is correct.
I just realized how I messed up here. I usually go and get a bunch of information like about an hour beforehand, but because we had to switch people, I don't have any stats or anything for you loaded up already. But that's fine. We'll just have you talk about it. So first things first, we're gonna get right into this. And yeah, the first question that I love to ask people is, your tag. Where does it come from?
So this is kind of just a meme among friends, but it took me just earlier this year to realize my name is kind of a Hunger Games OC.
What?
A Hunger Games original creation. I think it's what OC stands for. I've never actually learned what it meant. Yeah. I've always assumed.
Original content, one of the two.
Yeah. So basically, I played a lot of Minecraft Hunger Games back in the day. Oh, that's not good.
Oh, that's meaty.
No. And yeah, I was a big fan, constantly playing it. And it's I was also a big fan of the books, but this was generally more of a Hunger Game, a Minecraft Hunger Games thing. So that's what I had the most connection to about.
Yeah.
And I eventually was like, wouldn't it be cool if I made my own thing for a district that doesn't exist? Which is where the 14 comes from, because in Hunger Games lore there's only 13. And my birthday is actually the 14th of November too, so it's kind of yeah, that's about dodge. It was kind of just a cool thing like that. I also share a birthday with another WiiFit, the top one, Varun.
Okay.
Oh. And so yeah, that's basically where the origin of my tag came from. Nick, my name, and the district.
Hunger Games and Minecraft. I think you're the second person from Minecraft, or whether the tag originates from Minecraft. The first person I interviewed was actually Sharp. Sharp actually comes from Minecraft as well.
Ah.
Yeah. So if you're interested, go ahead and watch that video. It's actually kind of funny how that one all started. But yeah, that's really interesting. I wasn't expecting Minecraft and Minecraft Hunger Games as well. So that's kind of really neat. So yeah. So going forward from there, let's get into more of you as a player. As we can see here, you got the WiiFit. Definitely one of my favorite characters to do commentary for in general. So I was actually really excited to do this one with you. Oh shit. So let's talk about playstyle in general. So obviously WiiFit Trainer is very unique, at least in my opinion, compared to a lot of the rest of the cast. It's got a buff up type deal. It's got a few solid projectiles. So when you're going into a match, oh, that sucks. What is your game plan going forth, especially when you're playing against someone you've never played before?
Typically, I try to kind of just do a lot of WiiFit stuff, and by that I mean I prioritize a lot of deep breathing and soccer ball plays. Like you can see there, I kind of just use a lot of header cancels.
Yeah.
And that typically kind of can throw people off. Oh, I can't touch that. Yeah. That typically throws a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But more of a matchup thing is, I really don't like camping. It's one of my things that kind of differentiates me from WiiFits. I'm generally more on a campier side, although I try my best not to camp the ledge, because ledge camping, as much as people think it's good for WiiFit, we just have more or less better tools to get off it rather than it being good for us relative to other characters, if that makes sense. It's not like the best place to be for WiiFit, but it's better than other characters.
Yeah, I get it. You definitely don't want to be stuck there, and like you said, you've got the tools to kind of get out of that spot. It's just a matter of using them.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's just, but a lot of matchups you have to camp, because if you don't camp, you kind of just get destroyed. And I will camp in those matchups because, again, if you don't, you lose. And so like Sonic and Pac-Man are ones where, once again, more of relative to, I guess, the playstyle of the Pac-Man especially, more or less than Sonic, is just matchups where I'll camp. And once again, like, getting into it, I kind of just try to overwhelm players with their with just WiiFit stuff to try to be like, what can't this character do, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's of course, WiiFit is a pretty just uncommon character, pretty niche, and if you can kind of scare people into like questioning what you can do.
Oh, this is gonna be another meaty one. No, come here, let me get this. Come on, no! No, be a good guest! It's gone. But yeah, no, I definitely get what you're saying there. Like you mentioned, it's a very niche character, very unique play style, so kind of using those strengths in general is just, it's very good for your character, so I mean, why not do it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, cool. So yeah, outside of that, like obviously we you just went over how you like to play, and as well with the WiiFit Trainer as well. Wow, I've said it was well like 15 times in that sentence. That was rough. So yeah, going forward though, with you as a player, what do you think some of your weaknesses are?
I generally, once again, due to lack of experience, it's kind of a generally nervousness in high pressure situations, because this is my first Smash game, like as competitively. I played PM, but I wasn't really consistently playing that, or played in many tournaments for it. So, I don't have a lot of experience in like high pressure matchup situations where last hit, last stock, or just stuff like that. And I've definitely gotten better at it over the over the year and a half I've been playing this game. That's just a general newcomer weakness as well. But I guess as well of not doing something consistently, and like if there's a game plan that wins matchups, I will stick to that game plan until I get a lead, and then go off it, which will usually be a bad idea, because it leads to me doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing and opens up more opportunities for the opponent, and that's pretty bad at times as well. And I guess another one is my general over cockiness at times. Like if I'm winning, once again, I'll do different things, but I'll do like things that are just really bad, and
you're just trying to
style
flex, pretty much.
Yeah. It's just, my goal is like style, and then that's just a bad decision in like that scenario. And
I actually got through that.
That can get through anything.
Well, I mean, I don't think it has. I think it has armor, but not like super armor. I think you can pound through it or whatever, but I don't know. I always learn something about my character.
Yeah. I think those are my 3 general big weaknesses.
Okay. So yeah. That's pretty good. So yeah, you mentioned briefly as well that this is like your first game competitively. At least your first Smash Bros. Game competitively. Not your first Smash Bros. Game, right? You played 4, I assume?
I played like 4 on my 3DS when it came out, or occasionally with a friend. Always like more like Brawl, like everybody played Brawl back like their grandma's house back in like 2010. That was 2010. I
actually completely forgot that you mentioned Project M as well, briefly. Yeah. But speaking of Project M, have you played Project Plus at all?
I played a decent amount of it. It took me a while to actually do it, because it took me a while to like really, I guess the first month or so, I was kind of focusing on school, because that's when everything was transitioning, and teachers were like, let's give everyone a lot of homework and stuff, because they obviously have more time. And it was just too much. And eventually I got around to playing it one night, and I played it a few play at least like once a week. And yeah, so I play a little bit of it.
I tried to catch that that soccer ball. But okay, yeah. So going off of when you mentioned that, you know, this is your first game competitively, right? I think that's really unique in the fact that I think you're the first one to play, like, to have this game to be your first competitive Smash Bros, right? Out of everybody I've, you know, interviewed so far. So from there, what I'm trying to figure out is, so your current skill level, right? So obviously you're in a pretty good region, you know, the MDVA. I think it's pretty well renowned for just Smash Bros in general. Like, you know, you got Xanadu out there and stuff, right?
Yeah, we have Xanadu, we have the Cave, we have like Smashcons hosted there. Yeah. All the big Xanadu stuff like Glitch and Town. We just have a really vast history of just our region in Smash's life.
Mm-hmm. No! Alright, we're fine. Oh no, we're not fine. So yeah, the reason why I ask all that is because, so your skill level, right? Pretty good Wii Fit. But in fact, actually, I'm kind of curious. In terms of Wii Fit trainers, I'm sure you keep in touch with other Wii Fit trainers. You're a part of the Wii Fit Cord, like you've mentioned before. We've had brief conversations about it. Where do you think you rank in terms of Wii Fit trainers?
I think, so I'm pretty online heavy, as much as I hate to say. I think most of my success comes to the online switch. I was never an online player before quarantine, but that's when I really started. Like I was like a 5-2 or like that, make top 8 sometimes at my locals type dude before quarantine. But then when that came out, I really started practicing more and more, and I got like really good at the game. So I think it's like for online refits, I think I'm probably top 10. But when it comes to offline, I'm probably top 20. Like I said, my offline, I really do want to see where I learned a lot in this quarantine, but I really do want to see relative to offline where I am now.
Get that ball out of here! No! Okay, so yeah, because the reason why I asked that is I kind of want to lead into, like, as I've already brought up like 4 or 5 times, because my mind's all over the place. I downed a monster before this, so I'm like wired. So yeah, you think you're top 20? Definitely from Wii Fit trainers I've seen, at least, you know, in the Wi-Fi capacity, you're definitely up there. I think like you're super good. But what I'm trying to get to is, what do you think about your current skill level? We can go offline or online. We can discuss both even. What do you think about your current skill level, and where do you want to be, like, by the end of Ultimate's lifespan?
I want to be PR'd in in either like in a region, because I'm currently a senior in high school. Ooh, that's a sweet spot. So, and I don't really have plans to stay in Maryland, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I really do want to go somewhere else for college, but I think relatively, I just want to be PR'd somewhere, because I think I can practice enough and I will get to that level. Yeah. Because I've already accomplished a lot. I feel like I've already made drastic improvements in my first year, and that's been without much, like, there was a quote, I forgot who it is, but it was in a video I was watching, that you're only as good as your scene. Which is relatively true. But so I mentioned I am MDVA, but I'm not Xanadu part of MD. Like, I'm like within an hour of it. But my main local is a place called the Game Gym. They host a bi-weekly tournament called a Flex, and there's a lot of high schoolers that go there because it's close to like the school county that most of us live in.
Yeah.
And it's generally a more like kid-friendly environment. And that's kind of that's where I got my start, and that's basically that's my scene, because I'll occasionally go to Xanadu where I have pretty decent results, but I don't have that consistency of this great Xanadu, because like the people at Flex, they're good, but when you try back air.
Oh, was it the back air?
It was the back air legs.
Yeah, I was gonna say that hitbox is a lot bigger than I remember it.
When you compare, there was a great quote by Seagull Joe about it. It's like the mid-level players at Flex are a lot better than the ones at Xanadu, but the high levels are a lot better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's true. Like, I can only get so much good mid-level practice until I'm eventually the best of them. But if I'm not getting that high-level practice, then what's the point? I'm not going to get really any better than the mid-levels.
I get you.
And I think with I do want to get to the point where I'm considered a high-level player, because online people have already considered me like a high level player, because I've made some like amazing results. I have a win on Sinji online, which is like, it's online, but like you also have to realize that Pac-Man WiiFit is not pretty in general. Well, it's an even matchup, but like Pac-Man gets a huge buff online, and Sinji is one of the most experienced WiiFit with WiiFit, because he lives in the same region of John Numbers, and they go pretty head to toe, they're pretty even with that. And also, I'm just gonna say this: the rule set they ran for that tournament was easily a Pac-Man favored one, as they, well, I guess less me favored, because they ran they basically ran the normal, the Town and City, FD, Battlefield, Smashville, and PS2 rule set. But then they ran one counter pick, which was Kalos, and that is a zoner's dream. So aka Sinji was dominating there, and I couldn't really do much because I don't like flat stages, which is once again another reason why compared to other Wii Fits, I'm definitely, my opinions on them are much different, because I hate flat stages like FD, and I love like Battlefield.
Yeah. No, I get you. I've messed around with Pac-Man before, and I totally get where you're coming from. As when I mess around with Pac-Man, I do not want to be on triplats or anything with a lot of platforms, and obviously that's something that would benefit WiiFit Trainer more, or just any character playing against Pac-Man. So I know exactly what you're talking about when you say, Kalos is like the one counter pick.
And then, like, no matter what, you're counter picking against yourself, because if he bans Battlefield and SV, which are the two stages I like to go to in a matchup against a zoner, I wouldn't necessarily like to take them to a flat stage, and I was forced to each time.
I get you.
So, yeah, like I got 33rd out of 2048 at Collision Online. I got top 8 in the first juice box.
Yep.
I got 250. I placed in top 256 in the box, which was the 8,000 man tournament. So even then, that's still really respectable.
Yeah.
And I lost my winners round 2 in my first wave, so I had to make it like a 10 games losers run all the way there. I'm pretty sure that most people would consider me a really good online player, and I'm happy with that. But when online is done, like when offline comes back, I'm never touching this game online again. It's just, I'm leaving this behind. I did well. I've already stopped playing in online tournaments after my top 8 at the juice box, because I felt like I've already proven all I need to prove, that I could be a good player online. And so I guess from here, it's just performing well at majors when we can do them again.
Yeah.
And trying to get PR'd, whether it be an MDVA before I leave, or at least explosion, or what?
But yeah, no, I remember when, I remember when you said you were done doing online. I think that's like when we first like actually started talking, keeping in touch, and stuff like that. So yeah, I remember when you made that decision. But it's unfortunate, because I think you're a joy to watch. But, I get it, man. Wi-Fi is not for everybody here. And that's not even to try and be rude. It's just, this game is not for everybody on Wi-Fi.
No. I was talking about it earlier with a friend, and that there's just something so beautiful about watching about offline Ultimate. Like the game is just, it's beautiful. It's brilliant. I could honestly say watching offline Ultimate makes me way happier than ever watching Melee. And I get like Melee was, so I did mention that I played PM before. Like I was more into PM and Melee before Ultimate was released because it was the only game I really had access to. Like because I was a 3DS Wii U player, so I didn't really have the best, like I couldn't do a lot of like stuff with that. And I had a computer, I had a Wii, so I could do PM and Melee stuff, which was my general, which was generally like I grew. That was more like how I got back into Smash as a whole.
Yeah.
And like I've like, so as a spectator, I love Melee to death, Melee and Project M to death. But just watching Ultimate offline, just it's so beautiful. And
no, I get you.
I really do want to be considered like one of the best of my player, one of the best of my characters offline. I want to prove that. Like I think at the moment, my online success is going to be a fluke, because I think it's true. I think it's true because like I'll probably perform better, but a lot of this stuff that I can pull off online is purely because it's online. Like I'm not going to be able to do a lot of like WiiFit stuff that only happens because you can't react to the ball in time. And I just want to prove, I guess, at the end of the day that I can end up having some level of success that was like the ones I've been experiencing right now in online.
I'm actually so happy that my side B grabs you when you're crouching.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience with this matchup, mostly because there's I think actually he's an instant cord mod, Turtle King.
I'm not sure if you're familiar.
All right, he is a player from my region. He's like a friend from the school county. He's currently ranked 1 in our county.
Okay.
So and he's an instant player, and I've played him like, I think like, oh wow, I think in like 7 online sets. So I have a decent amount of experience with this. Plus, there's another player named Flippy. Who's another instant player who goes to UMD that I have a decent amount of matchup experience with too, because me and my friends will sometimes travel to UMD for their fest tournaments that they do. And I'll play him a decent amount. Plus, he sometimes goes to like the Flex local. So decent amount of matchup experience from there.
I get you. So yeah, just to recap real quick, you went on quite a tangent right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously you think you're a pretty good WiiFit. I agree. And so before Ultimate ends, you really want to be PR'd in Maryland, right?
At least, yeah. I want to be just PR'd. Like by then, I really just before I leave, plan is to be PR'd in MDVA. But if that doesn't happen, I just want to be PR'd in this in a region and show that I'm capable of it.
I think wherever you go, I think you have that. I think you have that capability of making it there. So yeah, moving back a little bit here, going back into you as a player, and you've mentioned some of your results real quick. I want to get into results that you're proud of. Like this could be offline and online. And again, like I don't think there's anything about with a fluke. If a win's a win, and I don't think there's fluke in any of that stuff. So what are some results that you've made offline or online? It could be placements or games that really make you feel proud of yourself. Oh, so that's not one. That's not one right there.
So I mentioned that my local Flex, they back in that was where I first started playing, but they were at a location, and they went at an old location back last August. That's when they left that location, and that's where they've been there for a year. So in the new place that they were going to was a lot bigger and just better for them as a company. So we were there for about a month or two. There weren't any being held while they were moving to a new place, and when everybody when they opened back up, they of course hosted the bi-weekly, because what else would they do?
Yeah.
And this was like the biggest one they had yet, and that is definitely an angle.
Yeah, it was.
It's a lot of people excited because this is a talked up local, like Seagull Joe is sponsored by them. So it's if Seagull Joe's talking it up a little bit, you want to see what's behind it. And the reopening had like the most amount of people. I think it was about 78. And so of course I like went through like the 2 months between them like reopening and all that stuff. I was practicing a lot, like just grinding stuff out, going to more locals that aren't held there. I went to like Xanadu a few times, started going to the UMD tournaments, and I wanted to prove that, because I was always like a gatekeeper. The bad player, I could show, I could give like top or more of the high level players a problem. I could defeat a lot of like the other mid players, and in the low players I just beat. And I wanted to prove that I could. I wanted to prove that I should be like, I'm not just a gatekeeper, and I could do a lot better than that. And I didn't top 8. Never topped 8 at the time at that local, and that was my goal for the night. And I went on a huge winners tear. I game 3 against a guy who'd always kick my ass. I was down 3 stocks to 1, and I brought it back to win the set. Then the next set, I had to play another rival who just like him and me play all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
But I never was able to beat him, and finally did that. And then I made top 8. I lost to winner's side quarterfinals. That was whatever. I lost to a Game & Watch named Skaya, who is PR'd in MDVA, and he won the Arcadian the season before he got PR'd. So,
see,
like,
pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. So it's not like a bad loss or anything.
Yeah.
And he, like, for reference, he also how good the Arcadian was. I'm not sure if you know aware of who Jerry is. The Melee PGR player.
Yeah. Actually, I just watched something from him recently. What character does he play? He plays
Joker.
He plays who?
Joker. He plays in Melee. He plays both Fox and Puff, but in Ultimate he plays Joker. And I think he's currently 10th on the PR, either 10th or 9th.
What is it? It was the TNS Pandemic Tournament. I believe he was in that. I did commentary for one of the sets recently. Yeah, he's a really solid player.
Yeah, he got second in it, and like if he's ranked, of course, he's a really good Melee player. PGR ranked, which is really good. Yeah, obviously, he got second. The guy I can never beat, he got like 7th, I believe. Ooh, and that guy got the soccer ball too. But okay, I'm getting off tangent over here. So, really good players in my region, not bad losses, and then I beat another player who I hadn't beat before to get the top 8, and that was my first top 8 with them, and the one I was most proud about because I worked super hard for it, and I proved at the biggest one they've held that I could do it, and yeah, that's arguably my proudest. But 2 other ones is of course the collision run. Ooh, I did not have jump.
You almost made it back though.
Yeah. Was my collision run where I beat Sinji in round 1 pools. Not round 1, like wave 1 pools. And beat a Yoshi who I hate. If you know anything about me, I despise Wi-Fi Yoshi. not a big fan of offline Yoshi
Yeah.
either, but clutched it out against one. And then I played Conway, who was Wi-Fi Warrior, the Wi-Fi Warrior ranked PR their season 4.
Oh. Okay, we're not.
And that doesn't jab.
No! But yeah, no, definitely some good results.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Conway's good. He runs a lot of tournaments too, right?
Yeah, he runs the TV series
That's right.
weekly, which I'm a big fan of. I'm pretty active in that chat from time to time. But he's like a really good Puff player as well. I beat him on there. Then I played Coffee, who's a really good Falco player, and the round before he beat Sora. So no slack. Unfortunately, lost to him because that's like a -3 matchup for WiiFit.
Yeah.
And then lost to Sinji in the run back.
Yeah.
So yeah, 33rd out of 2048.
You know,
Definitely
nothing to scoff at.
nothing to stop that. And it's pretty nice to think about because I actually Collision was supposed to be my first like out of region major that I was going to with me and my friends all got a hotel and stuff, and it's going to go out for the weekend and have a good time. And COVID said no, so it's kind of nice to do that, like even if I wasn't at the actual one, to get like that result. It's just nice to think about in a sense. And then there was the juice box where I got top 8 at the first one, and talked about that one a little bit.
Yeah.
That was generally probably my third favorite one, because one thing that was a big stage as well. That was H-Box tournament, and I signed up like last second, and I was actually going to DQ that night because I was like, man, I am just not feeling it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up feeling it. So, ooh, yeah, that's gonna do it.
Well, it's definitely a good thing that you competed because that's kind of like the weekly tournament now.
Yeah.
Because like I know other events are running like weekly Wi-Fi tournaments, but like I don't know a single one that gets consistently big players like the Juice Box does.
Yeah, and like there's just a prestige to it.
Yeah.
Juice Box has. So yeah.
But yeah, shout outs to Team Liquid and the Juice Box series, especially for bringing me on as commentary.
Yeah. Been enjoying that. Big reason why I do check in most. Why I do check in during this top 8s.
It was all by random and like chance too. So like how I got my spot. Just to make this about me for a little bit.
No. Actually, I am extremely interested in this. Actually.
What was that?
I said I am pretty interested in this because I do want to. I kind of also want to do something in esports. So hearing how job opportunities are created is definitely something.
I wouldn't call it a job. I do it for free.
Well, yeah, an opportunity in general.
So like, but the thing is with commentary, especially for something big like that, it's honestly connections and who you know. And how it all started was because it was during the online Olympus, right? And what happened is I saw, you're not going to make it over there, are you? Holy shit. You really did that. So how it all started was it was the online Olympus. So basically I follow Tony Z Tank on Twitter, right? And he mentioned that, you know, he signed up for online Olympus. And at this point in time, it was me trying to get as many commentary spots as possible. So what I did is I reached out to was it ANG pretty much? It was Grumpy Gamer G. He runs ANG and stuff like that, or he's one of the guys that runs it. Super dope dude. Absolutely love the guy. I said, hey, I'd like to do commentary for you if you guys wouldn't mind having me. And he was like, yeah, sure. And like I gave him some of my clips and stuff like that. And he's like, well, I just want you to know we don't pay. I don't know. I guess he thought really highly of my commentary or whatever. And I was like, no, dude, I just it's free. Like I just want to do commentary. I just really love talking about the game. And he was like, yeah, sure, we'll have you on. And then what happened is it was me and Grayola, I think. I think it was the two of us doing commentary. Yeah. And then what happened is Last was running the stream at that point in time.
Yeah.
And I guess he liked what he heard, and then he got involved with the juice box, and now he runs it pretty much. He's the head TO. And he said, "Hey, do you want to come do this?" And I said, "Yeah." Like, what the hell? You don't have to ask, dude. Just tell me I'm going to do commentary for it for Team Liquid every week.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, dude, Team Liquid has just been absolutely stellar, man. Working with them, it's been an absolute pleasure. So.
Good to hear.
I just hope it turns into something else outside of that, and I really like it because like it's gotten me the chance to connect with a lot of people too. Like you're one of them. I love talking to you, man. I think you've got a great brain for the game and stuff like that, and watching your clips on Twitter every once in a while, and that actually is what got me to do commentary for your own series there. Are you still doing that?
I stopped it because it was kind of just during the whole accusation period. It was kind of just I didn't necessarily want to run it, and then work was like I started like working both an internship and a job, so it's just like I could do it, but there were other things I could do that like with my time that I'd rather do. But there is some thinking about possibly doing one last one before I give my capture card back to my friend. With potential for an actual prize pool for once, but we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, we haven't done any since the last one. I think it was 4.
But yeah, kind of getting back to it. Yeah, that's that allowed me to do commentary for you. You reached out for me, and it's been fun working with you on that. Even though it lasted only a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just like it's just been a good opportunity in general. So I'm thankful for the juice box just for that. But now we're gonna get. Oh wow! I thought I was just gonna be able to grab. I forgot he goes invincible, right?
Yep, and then hitting the soccer ball gives about 30. With deep breathing, gives about 30 additional frames.
30 additional frames. That's some bullshit. This character's ridiculous. I love it. So yeah, anyway, back to you though. Let's see. We went over your tag, your gameplay style, strengths and weaknesses as well. And let's see. We went over some of your results. And yeah, I think that covers most everything that I want to cover in terms of a player. But now let's just kind of get to more of you as a person. So. So yeah, so NickDistrict14, it could be Smash related or not Smash related, but what like drives you? Like what are things that like interest you? What are things that you do outside of Smash, or even if you just want to talk more about Smash? Like what's something you want to bring up?
So I guess a pretty flawed habit of mine is extreme dedication to something to the point of addiction. Okay. Which is not. I always get asked, oh, how did you get good? Like, how do you practice and stuff? And I don't like saying that answer because it's pretty much I played this game to the brink of addiction, which isn't. There's just never something I'd recommend to someone. And I got around to fixing that, but I kind of focus a lot of energy on like Smash. Like I have a lot of just general roots in this. Like I do custom controller stuff. Like at tournament, like at majors and stuff, you may see me at a booth doing like controller stuff because that's something I love doing. I love doing stuff for the community, and that's definitely something I like helping people, but I also like being the best. So when I mentioned the drive to get better to the point of addiction, that's where the competitive part comes in, and the talk about helping people. I like playing with people. I want to help see them also get better. But another reason why I like doing the controller stuff because controller stuff generally helps everybody out because you're getting a better controller usually, or more customizable one. It's just a nice little thing I like to do, and because it's generally just a nice little thing to know how to do. It's like. This is a bad example, but knowing how to fix a car. I don't know how to do that, but I hear it's a good thing to know how to do.
Yeah, it's kind of important. I believe it. I didn't know shit about cars when I first got out to North Dakota here, and what is it? And that's because I never drove before. Like I really started living on my own. I just walked everywhere, and then when I finally got a car, and it's like, oh, you actually have to really pay attention to the oil. And they're like, yeah, like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, shit, I don't know anything. I'm sorry, guys.
But, like, the controller thing is just, I feel like if you play a lot of Smash, knowing the basics of a GameCube controller, if you use one, is pretty important to know. Because it's not really hard to know, because, a lot of people kind of just get, scared about the thought of breaking it. But the inside of GameCube controller,
Oh my god,
is pretty simple to once you open it, because it's just a motherboard and buttons, and that's literally all there is. So, like, a lot of people overestimate how complicated it is, and I feel like helping and spreading the knowledge of that is pretty valuable, especially in a scene where the GameCube controller is arguably the most used controller, and knowing like the basics of it is going to be good for the future.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to be able to fix controllers and just like how to clean them properly too. So
yeah,
that goes such a long way, like for just extending the longevity of your controller and keeping it functional and stuff like that. So I get that.
And you mentioned though talking about like other things. I am a big fighting game person in general. I suck at every other one but Smash, but I just love watching them a lot. Like my favorite of all time, well, besides Smash, would probably have to be Justice, even though it's not like a big one. It is something I grew up with in my childhood, but like the mainstream like Street Fighter and that, I'd probably like all that. I'd probably say Ultra Street Fighter 4. Once again, trash at it, but I loved playing it.
Yeah, Street Fighter 4 is definitely a fan favorite for many people. So,
but yeah, like fighters in general is just a big thing of what I like to do. Outside of like Smash and video games, I was a big soccer guy. My dad had history in soccer. I grew up playing soccer for like 11 years. Eventually stopped because it was kind of just not fun anymore. I didn't have the same heart that I used to have for it. And so yeah, like soccer is a big thing I'm a fan of. Big Bayern Munich fan, which is a German team.
Yep. Yeah. One of the guys I used to work with was a big fan of that.
Yeah. Because I'm actually part German too. So big fan of like the German soccer teams and the national team as a whole. Outside of that, kind of big. I'm pretty okay. I can't even say I'm into music. So that's like a lot of things. I really don't know much about music, like in the grand scheme of things. I just listen to like a lot of it. But I'm pretty into like a lot of indie stuff, of course. But to the point where it's not like I can call myself a true indie fan. It's just give a room full of people, odds are I'm gonna know more like quote unquote indie stuff than them. Like the most people, yeah.
So what position did you play in soccer?
I was a goalie growing up, and then came too short. And
I feel that.
Yeah. I was like 4'11" until 8th grade, so I'm like currently 5'10". Oh wait, shoot, you fucking. Oh. Okay, we're good. No,
you're dead.
Not.
No!
Okay. Wait, I held in!
Okay, so the mix-up worked. Yeah, I meant to do that.
Mix-up worked. 100%. Works every time. I then, around 6th grade or so, I switched to striker because generally I was a,
You were fast.
I was fast, but my positioning was mostly just because I had to, like, I've always, like, when it comes to games, I've always tried to, like, think a lot. Like, I mentioned, like, even when I played soccer, that was, like, all I did. I played soccer, I played FIFA, I was kind of just obsessed with getting better. And a big thing I learned is a lot of kids do not understand the importance of positioning, of, like, being where you should be before plays start, during plays, and whatnot. And that was a...
Oh, I fucking hate this character. Why'd they buff it up, Smash?
And that was just something that I was good at. And as a striker, positioning is pretty important in setting up some plays and stuff. And while I may not have like the strongest foot, or I was definitely not the fastest, I was just generally like fast. No, like if I'm just in a better position than like a kid who's fast, it really wouldn't matter if at the end of the day, because I'm already in a place where he can't catch me. If that makes sense.
I get you.
If
I get it, because I grew up playing soccer as well, so I wasn't the striker. I was a striker in like my early years, like when I was a kid. But I got to high school and I was just strict defense.
Yep. I just also was not like ever in great shape to play anything but striker, because like I mentioned, positioning was mostly my thing. I wasn't like an all-around runner. I was just a walk to your position and then speed burst. So I was pretty big on burst movement. So I mean, it's also kind of a reason I play WiiFit, because I can kind of connect to it to an extent.
Yeah, and then you know you got the soccer ball and the positioning. It all makes sense, man.
And it's just once again like eventually I lost kind of the same feeling I had for it growing up.
Yeah.
And I still follow it. I'm still a general sports fan. I still follow it, but it's not as hard as I used to. And like I'll follow like football every season when it comes around. Washington, whatever they're calling themselves now, fan. Sadly. Capitals, big Capitals fan. We finally got a cup like 2 years ago. That was a big moment because my dad is a big Capitals fan, and I grew up watching games with him. So that was a pretty happy moment. And I'm pretty sure the next day also they announced Ultimate, so not a bad weekend.
Not a bad weekend.
Big Nats fan as well. We did get the World Series this year, or last year technically. That was off one with deep breathing. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh. So I generally was an athletic kid, although nowadays, due to my lack of doing anything, I was ready for it. Doing much like doing like between like occasional push-ups and stuff. I don't like really run as much. Oh no. Oh, and the ball too. I was hoping I could get above you with that.
Oh, you're dead right here.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see the Skiff 3 stock? Oh, you're gonna hit that somewhere. Oh wow, that lasted forever. Uh-oh. Is this gonna be it? Oh no! But yeah, dude. No, I get the whole sports thing. As I mentioned, I played a lot of soccer in high school, right? I wasn't like, dude, it's been so long since I played soccer, and like I played for the first time forever on my senior year. This is my high school's first time having our own varsity soccer team, so I was like,
oh really?
Hell yeah, like I want to be a part of this, and we did like super good, and I was like, okay, you know what, we already got our strikers and stuff like that, like I'm already one of the fastest people on the team, but I was also like, oh shit, I was also like one of the more aggressive people on the team, so we just put me on like left. I was also the only person who can kick with the left foot, really. So
that
like,
is actually quite valuable.
Yeah, so like I was like, all right, you're left wing defense. I said sick, and like we had like one of my favorite defensive lines in soccer, man. Like we beat the shit out of people, and we had like a lot of like really like rude, cocky people. Oh wow, you're really gonna bring this back? It's okay. I'm gonna win this right here. Oh no. Oh no. No!
That 3 stock though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So anyway, but yeah, like so my whole thing was like, hey, I'm the fast guy who is not afraid to get aggressive with the biggest player on the other team. So that was like my whole thing.
Yeah. My school, well, I actually went to a private school for my first 2 years of high school, and I switched into public, but we're a really known, like our schools are like we're one of the best in the nation for football.
Yeah.
if you know Stefan Diggs or anything, I went to the same high school as him, so
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it, but if you guys want to look it up, you guys can. If you guys really care about my life that much, and so I was a freshman soccer, which basically means in a school of football, like basically the football school, boys freshman soccer, which generally the boys team was also way worse. Like our last championship for boys soccer was closer to the day the school opened than it was like modern day. So, you know, not really known for that. Girls team though, really good. I think they won the championship 2 years in a row. So, it's really respectable. But we did not get much love from like the school. But that's just the life of a soccer player. You're not, or a soccer player in America. My bad.
No, I get you, man. Cause what was it? So as I mentioned, it was our first year having a varsity, right? We ended up winning. Cause we were a vocational school, so we won the state vocational championship.
Yeah.
And we came in first in our league. So, but what happened is, you know, we're the soccer team and the football team is gonna do football team things, and they would talk shit to us all the time. It's like, what ended up happening, and they'd get super pissed too every time I said this. And like, we never talk shit about the football team, right?
Yeah.
A lot of my good friends were on the football team, blah, blah, blah. They would talk shit about us. I'm like, dude, we won a championship. You guys won a game.
Oh my god.
And they'd get super pissed. I'm like, I don't know why you're getting pissed. Like, you're the one who is starting this. Like, how did you not expect me to bring this up?
That's just, yeah.
It was kind of sad.
The football
Worth it.
or the football team, like a lot of like the players in Jones got along with each other. There really wasn't any shit talking among, thankfully.
Yeah, that's good.
I honestly think like a healthy, like even like the tennis players were hyped up, which if you know, because our tennis team is actually pretty good as well. But if you know anything about like high school sports, like tennis and golf teams do not get respect.
Oh yeah, no, they don't.
they're just like, but like they did at our school, which is pretty good, at least from what I saw. So
yeah. Because I remember like any kid who was like, oh yeah, I'm on the golf team. I'm like, there's a golf team.
Yeah, but then you realize the golf team has won more championships than the football team. You kind of have to hold that. But like I said, like these guys are generally like among the nicer ones I've known. But another big reason. Oh wow, invincibility! I forgot about that.
Oh, the win box.
I was like, the win box is gonna keep him in the air. I forgot you don't go into free fall with the win box. You're gonna go into free fall with side B. So I was like thinking I was making a big brain play, but I was just delaying the inevitable. But like another big reason, I just did not like the competition. They were jackasses.
Oh my god.
They were kind of just like, I once got pushed, like I could have broken my neck, like tripped, push. And then the guy just, I thought we were playing soccer, like, we are, but you're kind of football pushing me here in the back, which is still a penalty, by the way. Pushing the back, so.
Oh, you wouldn't have liked me in high school for soccer then. I was a dickhead.
Well, I was a mad shit talker, but also I just did not like refs at all. So that's pretty bad when your school is a Catholic school and expected to be, you know, not shit talking back to refs.
Dude, they're always the worst.
They are. No, so I once, I'm not even joking, I once got a red card for making fun of a kid who flopped. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous. And in the same minute span, some kid also made fun of like the same kid who was flopping. And he got a red card. And then the kid just decided to tie his shoe, which is the worst time to tie his shoe because we were all like fake flopping. And he got a red card just because he was tying his shoe.
What the hell?
And well, we still won the game somehow, but like it just like around the time it was just like, wow, these refs suck. And I just kind of did not respect refs. and it's kind of bad when you probably should.
No, why should you?
I think there's a general like, hey, these guys are, you know, spending time doing this. You should kind of.
They get paid.
Yeah, that's true. But also, my first ever red card, I got. Oh.
I wasn't gonna make it. I didn't have my side.
I got a red card for doing nothing. There was it hit off the other player's leg when I went out, and the ref called it a corner kick when it should have just been a goal kick for us. And I was like, hey ref, it didn't hit. It was like, are you talking back to me? And he pulled out the yellow card. And I'm like, I kind of just, my 6th grade self was kind of just like, how did this like go so far? And then parents, which by the way, in the rules, parents are not allowed to sit behind the goal. That is a rule in the rule book for that league, at least. And every rule book I've checked since then, you're not allowed to sit behind the goal. No one is. You have to sit on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Like normal people. And they were like, "Are you gonna like ref like throw him out and give him a red or something?" I was just like, ref, they're not allowed to be there." And then they start cheering, and I get confused, and I look back, and the ref's holding me up a red. And I just like, I'm like, oh, if I'm getting a red, I'm gonna get a red for something I deserve. Yeah. So I walk off with both middle fingers up, and I know this sounds like one of those things of, oh shit, one of those things where it's like,
oh no, I wanted that damage,
where everyone clapped, but parents were pissed at me, but like both sides. But like I did not care. I got a red card for no reason. I have every right to stick my middle fingers up at everyone. And my dad and me still joke about it to this day. He wasn't happy with me at the time, but he was like, I understand your frustration. You're a passionate player.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that's the reason why I also don't like refs, because I don't.
No.
Because of bullshit like that. So yeah, like beyond, like I'm pretty basic in I don't do anything. That's a lie, I guess. Would you count going to like random states at like 12 o'clock? Different.
What?
I just yeah, so me and my friends me and a friend, sometimes other friends, we'll start just driving in the middle of the night, getting some food, and then we'll end up like in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. And it's just like, it's a random thing. You kind of question why, and I don't blame you because but the point is, it's just about like driving and just relaxing, because it's a whole different environment and stuff, and like it's about exploring without leaving your car. So you know, the best of worlds.
Yeah, I guess that's different because like you're in Maryland, and Maryland's kind of a smaller state.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of other states around you. Yeah. So it's not like going to like California well, actually, it depends where in California, but I failed to run up. Okay.
Oh! Almost had your ass.
Oh!
Ah!
So yeah, that's something I do. That's a little different.
I don't think that's weird, because if you're in a smaller state, I guess that's fine, but like, I guess if you're in a bigger state and you're like 4 states away, it's kind of like, why'd you drive so far?
Yeah, and like it's like an hour drive away. Like there and back is like 2 hours. So it's one of the things, like we get back by 1. Why wouldn't you do that? And it's just like, and when people have a question, it's just like a waste of time. And yeah, but it's just about like enjoying people's company and just taking in the environment around you. At least that's how I've always seen it.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, man, we definitely went on a tangent. This is actually going to be the longest episode, by the way. So congratulations.
Nice.
Yeah, we're actually getting to the hour mark in about 30 seconds. Yeah, well, it's just fine, man. This is exactly what I want to do. This combines 2 of the things that I love, and that's talking to people and Smash Bros. So, I think what we'll do is we'll finish up this game here, and then we'll go into like closing it out and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
sounds good.
I'm gonna get one last win here at least. Uh-oh, never mind. No, I want this win. I need it. Ah! That's not what I wanted. Okay, so how bad is WiiFit's grab?
Normal grab, it could definitely be better. Dash grab, pitiful. Like, there's been times I've literally ran into people's shield and grabbed them, and it did not grab. Pivot grab is stupidly huge at times. There'd be times like I'm like halfway across FD, and I was somehow managed to grab a dude, because I extended the hitbox. But even then, like, it's sometimes just stupid huge. But main problem of like normal grab, main problem of normal grab is the lack of lower. Like, it's kind of, it doesn't hit low as well, or it doesn't grab low. So like a lot of like
Worth it.
a lot of characters have like low profiles and stuff. Like you saw earlier, I don't even remember what you did. Like about like our to my knowledge, from what I can remember, our grab height is about the same as our F tilt and F smash. So not low hitting at all. But so just that's like a lot of characters can just low profile our grab, and that's that can be annoying, believe it or not. Well, I can't say anything. Oh yeah, that's gonna do it. So yeah, WiiFit grab, not the greatest, not the worst. It's fine. It's relatively fine.
Actually, I do want to bring up one quick thing before we actually close this out here.
Yeah.
So WiiFit buffs, how do you feel?
They weren't necessarily what we needed to be buffed, but they're buffs that, like, a lot of the like I mentioned, we feel like F tilt and F smash. The fact that a lot of things can low profile it.
Yeah.
Like I've had Lucina uppy laning low profile F tilt and F smash.
That's crazy.
Which is just relative to show how high they hit.
Yeah.
I think a buff just to the knees of both of them would be, like, that would just be a buff to make WiiFit a well-rounded character, and that's like all WiiFit would need to be, like, solid and no complaints from me. But the faster up smash allows for earlier kills, as like a lot more of the setups are more consistent. The down tilt, while not necessarily a buff we needed, definitely definitely something that needed to be buffed and more relative to the other characters, because it's actually can kill now. Yeah. Sun Salutation kills a lot earlier. Once again, I've always thought Sun is like the worst of the charge shots, and I still think it kind of is, but the fact that it kills now definitely doesn't make me fully believe that anymore.
Yeah, I get you.
And then,
but yeah, I totally get getting the buffs that you don't really need, because that was Incineroar buffs.
Oh my god, side B buffs were so unnecessary.
It's not even just that. It's just like I like the buffs. Like acting out of revenge is a lot cooler. Making the grab faster is pretty great. But I'm like, you didn't address the problems at all.
Yeah.
And as much as I love this character, he's got some pretty glaring problems. But yeah, man, I think we're gonna try and wrap that up here. Do you have any final words to throw out?
Can I self-promo quickly?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Oh yeah, make sure to follow me at NickDistrict14 on Twitter and Twitch, and YouTube, because I've just decided I just uploaded a new video today for the first time in a year. I'm gonna try to get back into that, so check me out on social media. All that should be underneath NickDistrict14. Once again, just give me those links, and I'll throw them in the bio for the video. All right, yeah, sounds good. Thanks a lot for having me.
No, thank you. Once again, guys, this is NickDistrict14, WiiFit Trainer main from Maryland. Super good dude, and yeah, just one hell of a WiiFit. But yeah, that's gonna be all for this episode here. If you like this, be sure to I always told myself I was never gonna do this. This is so natural. I was gonna say hit the subscribe button and shit. I hate that. I didn't want to do it, but I was about to flow right into it. But yeah, no, if you do like this stuff, go ahead and hit subscribe. I've had a few solid names on here already, like Sharp and Raven King, just to name a couple. But yeah, no, this is something I'm passionate about. As I mentioned before, I like talking about Smash Bros. And this just kind of like combines the two of them. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Were you about to say something?
No, I was just gonna like make a joke about it, but I totally forgot what the joke was gonna be.
I think that's a good way to end it. So yeah, yeah, you guys take care, and yeah, be good to each other.